Hey guys, so in 4.1D lesson, we're analyzing some errors. So all these equations were solved for us, and in them there was a mistake, and we are in charge of finding that mistake. Okay, so I would advise taking the equation that's given and correctly solving it, and then look and see what the comparison is. Okay, so I went ahead and did that one here. I rewrote that equation out. And in order to get rid of the multiplication of -6, we would need to divide by -6, leaving us an answer of -5. Okay, so looking back at their work, oh, they forgot the negative. Okay, so the inverse of multiplication is -1/6. So we should divide by -6 or multiply by -1/6. Okay, all right, this next one here. 3/4 x equal 12. Okay, we have talked in the past that multiplying by 3/4 here, this x, I hope that you can see we would have to multiply by 4 to get rid of this divide by 4, and then we would also need to divide by 3. So couldn't we come in, we've talked about the shortcut, couldn't we come in and multiply by the reciprocal 4/3? Okay, isn't 4/3 times 3/4 1x? And that's the whole purpose of bringing on that 4/3. We want 1x. We want x isolated all alone. Okay, now we have to do that to the 12. Okay, so off to the side, we would have 12 over 1 times 4 over 3. Okay, well, cross canceling is pretty key. How many 3's are in 3? 1. How many 3's are in 12? 4. Do you see 16 as your answer? Okay, so I'd have 1x equals 16. Okay, let's look and see. Let's compare. Well, look at that. They multiplied by 3/4. They didn't take the reciprocal. Wouldn't this be 9 over 16x? Not just an x. Okay, so the inverse, let me go in this green color so it doesn't flow into the last one. The inverse of multiplication is 4/3. So should multiply the equation by 4/3. Okay, number 3. And at any time you can pause and try your own and then just click back in and check your answer. Okay, that's an option on any of these. You should know how to solve all these. Okay. All right, so this guy, we've got 8 minus 5c equal -37. Okay, my first step, I need to get to this -5c, so this +8 needs to get out of there. That +8 needs to get out of there. We do that by adding a -8 or subtracting an 8. Okay, now be very careful here. -5c is left, and a lot of times people forget that. That would be -45. Now to undo this -5 being multiplied by c, you would either divide by -5 or multiply by -1/5. Okay, I think this is a little cleaner looking. So that would be c equals negative divided by a negative is a +9. Okay, let's go ahead and compare the two. Okay, so it looks like, ooh, they forgot this negative right here. They forgot to bring down that negative. Okay, so let me write in pink on this one. So the inverse of multiplication is -1/5. So should multiply by -1/5 or divide by -5. Okay. Number 4. And again, if you want to pause and try, go for it. All right, 4x minus 3 equals 17. Okay, we're trying to get to that 4x. So the minus 3 needs to be taken care of. The inverse of a negative 3 is a positive 3. Okay, so we're just left with a 4x equal 20 here. Okay, now to make a 4x into a 1x, wouldn't we need to multiply both sides by 1/4 or divide by 4? Okay, that would be x equal 5. Okay, much different answer. So it looks like we were okay with the 4x equal 20, but then look at that, they subtracted 4. You can't take 4 away from 4x to get x. Okay, you have to take the opposite, the inverse of multiply by 4. Okay, that's multiply by 1/4 or divide by 4. All right, so I'll write that in green. Need to use the inverse. Need to use the inverse of mult and not inverse of addition. Multiply by 1/4 instead of subtracting 4. Okay. All right, number 5. Three groups of 2x minus 4 equal 8. Okay, you cannot start this one by dividing by 3 easily because 8 is not divisible by 3. So the first step I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute that 3 in. And that gets me 6x minus 12 equal 8. Okay, we got to get rid of this minus 12 by adding 12 to both sides. 6x equal 20. Okay, now we need to divide by 6 or take a sixth of both sides. 26. That comes out to be 10/3. Okay, a much different answer. Let's see where they went wrong. That 3 did not distribute into this -4. Here's the mistake right here. That 3 needed to be a -12 or a -12. Okay, so the three groups must be taken of the 2x and the -4. Okay, it was not taken on that -4. Okay, all righty. Page 2, same deal. So let me rewrite the equation 3x plus 2x, and please feel free to pause at any time and try it on your own. Get you some extra practice that way. So I'm going to go ahead and combine the 3x and the 2x to make 5x. And then I need to add 6 to both sides. So I have 5x equal 30. Now I'm going to take a fifth, or I'm going to divide by 5. And I've got x equals 6. Very different answer. Let's see where they went wrong. Oh, they subtracted 2x twice to the left side of the equal sign. You can't do that. Okay, you need to combine like terms first if they're both on the same side of the equal sign. Okay, so let's go ahead and write that error up. So 3x plus 2x should be combined to make 5x, since it's on the same side of the, equal sign. Okay, number 7. Number 7, 5x plus 1 minus negative 2x equal negative 8. Okay, my first step, 5x plus 1, this minus a negative is going to be plus 2x. Okay, then I hope you can see that those are like terms. We're going to make a 7x out of that. All right, so there's our new and improved equation after everything's kind of as tight as possible. Now let's start moving stuff from side to side. To get rid of the positive one, we do a negative one. 7x equal negative 9. Take 1/7 of both sides or divide by 7. Negative 9/7 is the answer. All right, so let's see what happened. They did 5x minus 2x to get 3x. That minus a negative is where that mistake was made. So minus a negative 2x makes a plus 2x, leaving 7x on the left side, not 3x. Okay, there's the explanation of that mistake. Alrighty, number 8, we're getting there. All right, here's another example of that one that has a big giant division fraction bar. Okay, so don't think you're going to subtract 1 to both sides. This is really a 1/3. This is x over 3 plus 1 over 3. Okay, so x plus 1 over 3 equal 2. Okay, your first step is to multiply the whole equation by 3. When you multiply the whole equation by 3, these 3's cancel. That was the whole point of picking a 3. And 3 times 2 is 6. And then we're going to get the 1 out of there. X equal 5. Okay, let's look and see what they did. They subtracted the 1. Okay, so let me use green. I forgot to kind of alternate here. All right, so must multiply by 3 first, since the 3 is dividing the x and the 1. All right, the last one. Again, if you want to pause it, feel free to do that to give it a shot. Negative 2 times the quantity x minus 2 equal 14. Okay, we could divide both sides by negative 2, but I'm looking at their work and it looks like they distributed. So I'm going to kind of just stay similar to that so I can compare. Okay, so if I distribute, that would be negative 2x, a negative times a negative. Remember, this is plus a negative. That would be plus 4. That could have been where they made a mistake. Kids do that all the time. Subtract 4 to both sides. Negative 2 equal 10. I'm going to divide by negative 2. And you end up with negative 5. Okay, let's see what happened. This guy right there is the mistake. Okay, so when the opposite of two groups, so the opposite is that negative of x minus 2 is taken, you are left with negative 2x plus 4, not negative 2x minus 4. Okay. All right, so hopefully with these 9 examples, you get the whole idea of being able to look at somebody else's work and see where a mistake is made. Okay. thanks, guys.